Hey everyone, it's Wingspan TT, and if you're watching, you know what time it is. No, it's not time to fantasize about the way Aurelia's feathers must smell. It's time for Duels of the Planeswalkers 2013. After a month of playing with 99 participants, the Top Tier Tactics January PC Duels of the Planeswalkers 2000 tournament is complete, and I'm proud to bring you footage. This is footage from the third place bronze match, and of course the finals match will be coming up. We have here FSBrain, which I always thought was FSBrain the whole time, versus Wake, also known as Anuzz, and it appears that FSBrain has come into the finals using its Aura Servants. Wake/Anuzz has made it to, well, not the finals, I suppose, the bronze match. Good luck, have fun, babe. You know, the babe thing is actually just throwing me off low. With Celestial Light. Now, one thing I just wanted to say, I was particularly happy to see both of these players bring these decks this far into the tournament. There was almost 100 people in this tournament, and there were so many people playing Sepulchral Strength and Goblins. And, you know, I'm not saying that I'm judging anyone's playing that. I'm just saying it's very predictable to see people playing these decks. These players made it into the top 4 of the entire tournament using Celestial Light and Aura Servants, going a little bit of a route that perhaps wasn't completely expected, and made it this far. Now, of course, they both lost to the players that, you know, actually advanced to the finals. So they're playing here for the third place, for the title, to say, okay, I got a bronze seat, didn't make it, you know, fourth is basically in loser town. But, you know, I don't know. I'm just proud. I'm really glad to see this. And we have here an early lead being taken by Anuzz. He's got his Seraph Flyer in there, is not quite flying yet, hasn't graduated, hasn't gotten its wings. Have Invisible Stalker being dropped on this side of the board, 1/1, hexproof, can't be blocked. The Pride Mate on the other side of the board has been shot down with a Pacifism. Of course, it's always possible that a Disenchant could be coming from Wake, and he should have known, he, she, whoever, should have known going into this tournament what deck FSBrain was going to be playing, because every player had to say what decks they were going to be using, and you only could use one deck the entire tournament. That's right, these players used the same deck the entire tournament, so he knew. I would have brought both of those Disenchant spells in here. We do have a Pariah possible on the board, but there's no real good play here for FSBrain, sorry, other than to swing, trading 1 damage for what looks like going to be 3 damage and 3 life gain for Anuzz on the other side of the board. Could drop a Pariah on one of the opposing creatures and just shut down, damage a little bit, but I don't really see if there's an actual point to that. I will say I do know how this match goes. Oh, that's smart. That is really smart. So he's going to drop the Pariah here on the Pride Mate, essentially, you know, pushing all damage that would be dealt to him to the Pride Mate instead. If he gets swung at for 3, it's not going to be enough damage to kill the Pride Mate. It will be enough. I don't know. I guess, do you still gain the life? I believe Anuzz would still gain the life if he swung for 3, wouldn't kill Pride Mate. But of course, that would make the Pride Mate bigger and even harder to kill. So he's in a real sticky situation here, even though the only thing that's on the other side of the board is a 1/1 hexproof creature. So he's just going to combat. Let's see what he decides to do. It looks like he's sitting at 3 lands this turn, while FSBrain gets the lead with 4 lands on the board and 2 in hand even. Okay, so he can go directly into 3 Wishes, 3 Dreams if he wants, which will allow him to search out 3 different auras. Of course, he's going to need different auras if he's going to want to have any hope of ever casting. Oh, here we go. Moment of Heroism. He's going to pump one of his guys, do the extra damage. So that's going to become a 3/3, deal 5 damage across. It's going to kill his own Pride Mate. Let's see, does it gain the life first? Oh, no, it's going to get the token. Oh, wow, there's just enough damage. So the life link does still function there, even though the damage isn't actually going to his opponent. It is still combat damage, of course. It's just being redirected to his own creature. Here we're going to see a 3 Wishes, or 3 Dreams, I'm sorry. Totally getting mixed up. And what is he going to go for? I don't know. I go for a cheap enchantment if I were him. That Imperial Armor is okay. He's only got 3 cards in hand. An Umbra would be good. A Mind Control could be okay. He could steal away something dangerous. It would be really good to have something cheap at least to play, so he could get a Daybreak, Corona, Crown, whatever. Infiltrator's Mage Mark. You got Eel Umbra. He's got a bunch of really cheap enchantments in here, which looks pretty interesting. The whole deck is just full of millions of enchantments. He's got Umbras and cheap ones. This looks like a pretty good pick. It should be enough to get him over the, hump here. I believe, I don't know if he has enough white mana. He will next turn drop his next planes. He'll be able to drop both the Imperial Armor and the Daybreak Coronet
to give the creature plus a lot with first strike, life link, all that kind of jazz. Turn the game around really fast. Of course, if Weck gets anything like Swords to Plowshares or anything else that could just... no, he can't Swords it. He can't Swords it. He would need something to clear the actual board, or he needs enchantment removal to just clear something pesky like the Imperial Armor. Of course, if you kill Imperial Armor while the Daybreak Coronet is on there, the Daybreak is going to fall off because it does require that it's enchanted creature that has at least one other aura. Of course, Anuzz has taken early lead here, 28 life to 15 life. And now we have Ancients of Lost Alara, wherever the hell they're called. You know, guys, if I get any names of the cards wrong, please forgive me, because, of course, when I'm normally playing commentating Sovereigns of Lost Alara in my own matches, of course, I can just look at the names and look at all the exact rulings on the cards while I do it. Of course, I often get nervous, then fail to do it, but here you go. Sovereigns of Lost Alara. He's going to swing for whatever he wants, get whatever he wants. I get the Imperial Armor if I had him right now. Of course, an Umbra would also allow it to be pretty safe, but it's going to go straight up to 6/6. Get the +1/+1 from Exalted. Swing for 7 on the board. 7 on the board. Now, of course, Anuzz's options are also shut down. He can't swing with his 2/2 and 1/1 because there's a 4/5 blocker now. So he's going to need something really good. Probably what he needs is a 4th land. If he has Day of Judgment, I would be using it right now, because he knows exactly that Anuzz's hand has 3 enchantments in it and probably no other creatures, or would he cast them for the last 3 turns. Of course, he's sitting there, game is sinking, just a lag issue. Please have the land. I want to see him drop the land. No land. And honestly, he's probably going to have to scoop if he doesn't get anything, because right now this is such a okay Recumbent Bliss, but that's not going to be the creature he wants to cast it on. Getting 1 life a turn is not going to be doing anything. He will get to now swing for 3 damage. Get in there, bring FSBrain down to 12, and himself going up to 21. But of course, that is 24. I'm sorry. Not going to matter. And the second Imperial Armor is going to drop. Ooh, here we go. He's going to drop the second Plains if he wants to cast this. I would very much like to see him get an Umbra on this creature. It's just too important now, it seems. Swing for 9. I don't really get his reasoning. I guess he wants to drop the second creature, and he could drop another Coronet on here. I would put an Umbra on it, personally, just to protect the creature. Drake Umbra is great, +3/+3. It's going to be 13/13, swinging absolutely brutal. Enough to end this game in about 3 more swings. 2 more swings, not 1 more swing. It could have been 1 more swing, but I guess FSBrain just does not want to go all in on this. He doesn't want to drop in all his enchantments only to find out that the board gets cleared when the inevitable 4th Plains gets dropped by Anuzz. The inevitable 4th Plains any second. And I know it's probably confusing. I'm keep calling him Anuzz, even though his name is Wake in game here. However, he signed up as tournament and as Anuzz. We've all seen him progress through a tournament as Anuzz so far, so that's what I'm calling him. It's all Anuzz to me. I feel like right now he's trying to decide whether or not to scoop. He can't block. The creature's unblockable. It's flying and unblockable. So even if he had a flyer, nothing he could do. He can definitely live for 1 more turn, but I just don't think that's going to be enough. He's going to gain 3 life now, go up to 15. No, he's not. I'm sorry. This thing's got vigilance now. He's basically just swinging in for death. I don't know what his goal is, just to gain a little bit more life. He's pausing the timer now. Swords to Plowshares, but the creature is hexproof. Is he doing it on his own creature? I guess he is. All right, that's just... He doesn't have any option. Now, if I were him, just time the scoop. This is all over. He's going to swing in absolutely deadly force here. Imperial Armor is going to be the deciding factor to just absolutely come in and just wreck. I don't even want to think about how big this thing is going to be. GG from Weck. GG. Game 1's going to be over. And pretty much what happened here is Weck got mana screwed. I thought the game was actually somewhat even. It may have looked like that FSBrain had complete control, but really, if there was a Day of Judgment at a certain point here, he would have been in a really bad position. He wouldn't have drawn a creature for a significant amount of time, while Anuzz probably had what it took on the board to get up to 30 life, get his Asera Ascendant to be a 6/6 flyer, and from there it would have been a real uphill struggle for FSBrain. However, it's not how it happened, and I think they just went directly in that game. I think that's actually how it happened there. So I don't know if Wake considered sideboarding, and this hand is really iffy. I don't know if I would stick with something like this. You only got 2 lands. Ooh, that is worse. Okay, yeah, I would stick with this, and he does stick with it. FSBrain does stick with his hand. He or she keeps calling it Babe. I feel like there's some story here I don't know. I feel like they know each other, that they're going out or something, that maybe through the magic of Duels of Planeswalkers, they found each other, true love, through this tournament, it's actually rather, it doesn't matter who loses these matches because they both kind of win, and we all win when we just get that magical connection. You know what? It just occurred to me that none of the magic colors is really aligned with love. There's really no magic cards that are like true love or seduction, or there's some vampiric stuff like that, or just, where's the emotional stuff? We see rage, we see cool-headedness, we see stuff like this, and I just don't know. FSBrain's hand here is pretty much garbage. He can drop a pacifism on this Pride Mate and shut it down to prevent some early damage, but he's got no creatures. Even if he had a creature, Daybreak Coronet is absolutely useless without another enchantment. So he's going to have to hope to survive until turn 6 to drop his Sovereigns of Lost Alara, and who knows what could happen by then. He could drop Sovereigns and it just gets Swords to Plowshare instantly. So that would be absolutely hilarious. It looks like Wake is hitting his or her mana a little bit better this game, up to 3 mana, swinging in for 1. The slow chip, of course, FSBrain is on a 18 turn clock here, taking 1 damage turn. Make that a 6-turn clock. Look how fast that changes. He just lost 12 turns of his life just from that creature hitting the board, because now instead of taking 1 damage a turn for 18 turns, he's taking 3 damage turns for 6 turns. And he's got absolutely no play here, and it's just going to be absolutely brutal. And of course, Wake's life total is just going to keep climbing towards the dangerous 30, towards the dangerous 40. Here it goes. The Solemn Offering, like I was saying before, he should have both of these in his deck. That's going away. That's going to go to a 5/5. Swing in the first strike is going to be applying from the 2/2, which means that before the Ajani's Pride Mate even deals damage, it's going to become a 6/6 creature and then hit for 6. So now it's all over pretty much next turn. Unless there's that's not going to do it. So FSBrain just did not get good luck with his mulligans. It's very possible his first hand could have been playable, but he would definitely need to pull like a second and third land directly out of the hand. It was way too suicidal to go with. This game's over. He's got no plays whatsoever. So I guess that's going to put it 1 for Wake, 1 for FSBrain, and here's the deadly death swing of death and murder and life gain. Boom, 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 boom. Now, guys, I'm really sorry that there is no sound effects from the game. There are no sound effects from the game. And whenever I see that screensaver, it always reminds me of End of Evangelion for anyone who's seen it. Anyway, I don't know what to say. FSBrain just did not send me some sound effects. This has to get mulligan, and now he's got to be pissed to get 2 hands in a row like this. New hand, much better, much more playable. No creatures, but if he draws in creatures, he could have some luck. He's got the pacifism to hold off early game, and here we go. It's kind of painful to what is he using the keyboard to play this whole game, or does he just not record his mouse cursor? I'm just gonna guess he didn't record his mouse cursor. Best of 5. That's right, best of 5. This is seriously legit. Here we have the knight hitting the board 2/2. First strike lifelink, really good play, really great for his deck, really great white weenie in general. I don't know if that's something that he's just going to want to pacify right away. No, he's going to go for the land. He wants to thin out his deck. So I don't know what I would get if I were him. I think I would have actually, I guess it's safe to take a Plains. There's really, no, I would have taken, no, I don't know what I would take. I guess it doesn't really matter. He's got enough of each thing. We're going to see an early gain here, 2/2. It's going to go down to 18-22 in Wake's favor. There's still really nothing for FSBrain to do other than possibly pacify his creature. No play from Wake, but here is where the pain is going to start. You're going to get the Enchantress on the board. 0/2. Whenever an enchantment gets played, FSBrain is going to draw a card. If the enchantment is getting played on this lovely girl, the dancer, whatever her name is, I have no clue what her name is, then she gets +2/+2, even beyond whatever the aura gives here. We have the Pride Mate, who's immediately going to get boosted here, swing in for 2. I'm just going to guess that FSBrain's going to take this to the face, going down to 16. There's no way he's going to throw away his dancer. That, of course, means that Wake goes up to 24. This Pride Mate goes up to +3/+3. But at this point, it's all over. Jesus Christ, Gift of Granite, or whatever it's called. So we're going to see here, the Imperial Armor is going to go down on her. She's going to get +1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's going to get +7/+7, and he's going to draw a card. So +8/+8. Boom! 8/10 creature. And, of course, you got the surprise of this thing, of course, doing an additional +0/+2, plus the +2/+2 from the effect of it. I don't know if he's going to use it. He is going to use it to sneak in the damage and draw an extra card. Of course, he could have held on to it until the end of the next turn if he didn't feel like he needed the extra 2 damage, because of what that would have meant is that, you know, if this creature now gets destroyed or Swords of Plowshare, he loses all 3 of those cards. Of course, he did draw 2 extra cards. It does seem to be worth it, and this game seems to be solidly in FSBrain's favor. Yes, that is not going to change. In fact, that is worse. The Rock's Faith Mender's actually worse now, because next turn FSBrain's going to be dropping the island, or yeah, he's going to be dropping the island to play, getting the Mind Control, stealing one of these creatures, possibly the Faith Mender, and I don't see why he didn't swing with both creatures. He could have used the extra damage. At this point, Wake needs to get in all the damage he can. It's only a matter of time until FSBrain gets some kind of life leech on his creature, and you need to pull the damage game. But he didn't pull the damage game. He's not trying to race him. I don't know what he's doing. Here the Umbra goes down. Now he's going to be getting swung into for 15 damage. And that's great and all. Alright, that's going to bring him down to 3. But unless he's going to throw a chump blocker in here, which I don't think is going to be happening, I don't see what the point was. He's just going to take it to the face. I feel like what he really should have done is he should have just swung both those creatures. He could have had FSBrain down to 10 life, and now he could be swinging for 8 damage this turn, possibly with some kind of boost in his hand. So in my opinion, that was a huge mistake. He could have top decked some kind of enchantment, some kind of boost. Moment of Heroism would have won him the game. Look at this. Look what's going to happen. 6/6, 6 damage, 7/8, 9 damage. Not enough damage. I feel like, yep, there we go. Boom. It would have won him the game if he swung last turn with both creatures. So, Wake, you threw away the game. I'm really sorry to say it. I really did want to see Celestial Light take it. I guess this is going to go to some more matches now, because I guess he's going to survive this swing back. Or he thinks he's going to survive it because he's got so much life. The Sovereigns of Lost Alara goes down, and that is it. He's going to swing in here, get the other Imperial Armor. No, I guess what he's probably going to do is go get an Umbra or go get a Life Leech. Here, we have a Chastise coming in, destroying this creature. 14, but of course there's already an Umbra on it. It's not going to die. It's just going to go down to 9/13. Wake goes up to 51 life. Jesus Christ. And I'm just going to guess another Umbra is going to go down, or possibly Daybreak Coronet. So Daybreak's going down on this thing. Daybreak comes, and I want to go home because this match is now going to be extremely protracted. Now being 51 life to 19 life, Wake going down to 36. He could have sealed this game off already, but he got greedy. I don't know. Maybe my math is wrong. If I'm wrong, someone tell me I'm wrong. But I don't see what the play was there. I don't know why he didn't swing with that Pride Mate that one turn. He knew he wasn't going to chump block it. Yes, he could have waited for the selection because the creature would have been bigger. If he had waited until FSBrain had gotten the Daybreak Coronet and then did the Chastise, he would have gained an additional 5 life. He would have right now been at 41 life, and right now he's filling the boards with creatures. He's going up to 9 there. He's going to be swinging back, I believe, now with just the 9/9. I don't really see how he could swing with anything else now that the 4 or 5 Champion Alara is on the board. And Wake has emptied his hand, and yeah, all right. He's swinging with the Faith Mender. He knows it can't die, so it's just going to get blocked here. He's going to go for the 2 life gain. All right, he's going to gain 2 extra life. I mean, he's going to get the life no matter what. It just forces a block here. It forces a decision, even if it's not a hard decision. But of course, now we see FSBrain's got a really nasty hand to play. He's got 2 pacifisms, which will draw him 2 cards. When he swings, he's got the Solemn. He's got the Sovereigns of Lost Alara again. He's got Mind Control. He could take away a blocker. He could take away Rock's Faith Mender, gaining double life now whenever he swings with his Core Spirit Dancer. That's it, Core Spirit Dancer. The whole time I had it wrong. I thought it was Core Enchantress, Faith Mender, whatever it is. He could also drop a Plains right now and put a Pacifism down, but he doesn't seem to want to do that, and I'm not exactly sure why. I feel like he should have pacified the Angel or one of these creatures. Oh, Mage Mark can't be blocked, I believe. And that is it. This 19 is just going straight through. No one's getting it. If I were him, I would play the Plains and drop a Pacifism. I feel like he's just going for maximum damage, but I feel like he should also be concerned about hemorrhaging life to the 10/10 Pride Mate. I mean, it's a 10/10 creature, and I guess he's safe now, but what if his Spirit Dancer gets taken away? What if it gets spirited away? Ha ha ha, Spirit Dancer. It's going to get Miyazaki'd when there's a top deck coming with a, what if Wake plays himself pacifism, but Wake calls the GG. I guess whatever he drew was not enough, even though he had it in his hand to win the game, or at least, you know, change the momentum of the game for a couple of turns, buy himself a little bit more time. It could have been enough to survive. I just don't know. I don't know what's happening here. So it looks like we're just going to see this thing swing in for 20 plus whatever enchantment comes out. I'm going to guess Imperial Armor, and it's not getting blocked. It can't be blocked. It's unblockable. It's unstoppable. It's unbelievable. And they are going in to, what is that? The fourth game. So we have FSBrain with 2 wins, Wake/Anuzz with 1 win. So basically, Wake/Anuzz has to turn this around. He needs to tie it up 2-2 if he wants to make it back in here. This is an okay starting hand, but there are no islands. This is significantly better. You're going to be able to get your little invisible man on the board right away. There's nothing you can really play on it. I guess we have a turn 5 play and a turn 6 play. So depending on what Wake has, he mulligans down to 5 cards. All right, 5 cards. So there we go. We know he's a little bit desperate. He's got 3 cards in hand, and there it goes. The Babe. You know, that's just making me mildly uncomfortable now. The Babe. I just don't get it. If I knew the story behind the Babe, maybe he had previously called FSBrain a pig, something like that. I don't know what the joke is. Ouch. Yeah. Sucks. Hey, he went down to 5 cards. There are worse. I've seen players win in 5-card hands. Totally happens. You know, it just doesn't matter here. FSBrain is going to get down a 1/1 creature, but unless he has something to back it up, he does have the Mage Mark, which is good, I suppose. And here we go, Spirit Dancer. Spirit Dancer all day long. I would play the Spirit Dancer 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10. Worst case scenario gets like, so okay. I was going to say worst case scenario gets Swords to Plowshare. But actually, Wake, I think that was a bad play. I think you should have waited until FSBrain attempted to enchant it, and then you should have done it, because then his creature would have been thrown away in the garbage, his card would have been thrown away in the garbage, his whole turn and all his mana would have been thrown away in the garbage. Yes, he would still get to draw the replacement card for it, but you'd basically be trading 2 cards he chose on purpose, 1 he draws at random. It would have been like an island or something like that. So I felt that was a bad play, and he left the mana open, so he clearly has the mana. He wasn't planning to play something turn 3. All these misplays, right? So, and there we go. And that's it. So, Anuzz ditches the game. FSBrain takes it. FSBrain is our bronze winner for the tournament, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be coming back to bring you the finals match. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you enjoyed this footage. And I hope I'll see you next time. Cheers.